Hey guys, welcome back. Sean Eckert from AdLace Studios here. This is going to be episode one of my vlogs. I'm going to hopefully get do a vlog once a week type thing. At least that's what I plan on doing. And it's kind of important here tonight. Let me set you down here to kind of explain where I'm headed, with the vlogs type thing. As you know from my first video, this is a brand new channel for me, and I look forward to, um, taking a journey here with the YouTube channel and teaching you what I know in my studio in regards to recording and making music videos, and you know what, just having fun, right? Because life's too damn short. So I'm gonna splice into back into my video that I shot couple nights ago, kind of in the raw, but my studio wasn't quite set up for lighting and things like that. And then I'm also going to drop a second video tonight that's going to dive into the second video for the Studio One sessions uh, within my Mac. So having said that, I hope you enjoy the vlog, and I'll do some editing and do some magic behind the scenes thing. And we'll see you in my next vlog. Before I go, though, please subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. Please comment below in the comment section of anything that you would like to see going forward, whether you're a drummer, a bass player, guitar player, singer, keyboard player, anything like that, and we will make magic happen together. Take the journey with me. Also, you can go to my website, adlacestudios.ca. That's ADLACE Studios.ca. Hopefully I spelt that right. And we'll see you in the next vlog. Hey YouTube, how's it going out there today? My name is Sean Eckert. I'm from AdLace Studios in Canada here, and I am super stoked today because today marks the first day of me launching my brand new YouTube channel at the age of 53. It's like incredible, but I'm super stoked. Um, I wanted to kind of do this shot with you guys today, and as my channel grows, you will see where I'm going with this and why this is so vitally important to growing a successful YouTube channel. I'm just getting over a super bad cold, and my throat and nasals and that, all that stuff is just very tinny sounding. I apologize for that, but I have a point to where I'm going with this. And the room that we're sitting in right now is my home studio that I built 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I built this, and um, it is what it is today, and it's a complete disaster. It's a complete mess. And the video quality that we're doing here right now is probably super grainy. It's poorly lit, which is exactly why I'm shooting this way. Because today, and I'll show you this on screen, coming up in a different segment of this little series here, but I've got 30 subscribers to my channel. I've got one video on there, actually two videos. One is a music video that I did a little over a year ago, and I shot all in this room, and I'll put a link to that over here, up here. I'm not quite sure how that all pieces together yet, but it'll be there somewhere or down below. And I've got just a little over 12,000 views to that video in a little over a year without promoting that. Now, that's not a lot of views to some of the big YouTubers out there. However, never been promoted. And I have a vision of where I'm going with this. And so why it's important about how the room is lit. I built this room specifically because I'm a musician, and I've toured, when I say toured, I've toured locally, no big names by any stretch of the matter, but locally wise, I've done that for the past 20-30 years and played a lot of live shows and collected a lot of gear over that time. And I'm kind of, getting to the point where I still will play live shows today, but I like to be more at home and more recording my own music and other people's music. And actually, my boy, He's 14 years old. He kind of put me onto this whole YouTube thing, and so I've been researching the hell out of this, hours wise, putting all that effort in there to figure out what's going on in that platform, because I'm a huge believer in the social media platform. I'm a technical guy when it comes to home recording software, DAWs, Adobe Premiere, things like that. I've always lived in that creative space in my professional career outside of music, as well as, in my career of music, if you will. And I've always been the guy that's been behind the board, so I was mixing sound, side stage, taking care of the lighting, etc., things like that, right? Now, this room isn't set up to shoot video in, and I will show you that transformation that I did shoot a full music video in this room and how good it turned out using, what am I using here? I'm using my iPhone 7. I shot that on 60 frames per second, and I used this camera, which is a Sony A5000. That's that camera, and it has a built-in microphone, but it is shitty. You can't use any of the audio off of it, and nor would I suggest you use the audio off of it. A lot of the vloggers that are out there in the YouTube space have, professional microphones that they, the Rode microphone that plugs into all the camera stuff. I don't know a whole bunch about the camera world just yet, but I'm going to get there, trust me. And I follow some pretty good guys that are in that space, and so I will learn a ton from them. And so anyways, we used this camera, again, 60 frames per second, and used a GoPro 5 or 6, I can't remember exactly what I had then. It was the newest one, a year and a half ago, whatever that one was. And all the audio, so that's the video side of it. And then so for lights, I just used my stage lighting that I had, that I have in this room, which are, just give me a second, which are a couple of these big bad boys here. These guys are LED lights, the LP LED 2s, so you got different color functions on them, so they'll strobe out, they'll do all the color changes for you, and they cycle through, etc., etc. But I use them just to light, the back of my, like a hairline shot, they call it, and then the face, obviously. But this box here is like a transformer for these things. I got 2 of these, 2 units of these. And so that's what I used for lighting that. Now, to do video tutorials, which is where I'm going with this new channel, and how you marry the video and the audio together, where I'm going with that is, and they're super heavy, these things. But they work good in a live music situation, right? So, but I can't use them when I'm shooting video like this, because the transformer in them, the fans spin, and that's not good for audio. The audio that I'm just using right now, just through my iPhone, because when you get into the professional world of sound and things like that, so loosen this off here. I'll just bring it down. So this is what we need to be using right here. Okay, so we need, it's a condenser microphone, a high quality condenser microphone. I'll get into, gear and all that stuff in later videos. But this is what you use in professional recordings, right? And so having said that, when I did all my audio shoot for the video, I did that through my DAW, through my Mac, through my PreSonus Live board, and everything like that. So I did a professional audio quality recording there. Then I played it back in this room, dressed the room to make it look great for video, and then sync the 2 together. And so the point to that is professional audio recording, not a camera microphone, and professional videography or cinematography, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm new to that world, but you just wait. A year from now, we're going to be having a much different discussion. And so, you know, you use things like, here's a 58, a Shure 58 that you use for professional audio recording, more of a live, this is a live vocal mic for the stage. And then the 57s, you use to, you know, mic up your guitar amps and get that signal going into your DAW. The Royer 121, which is on my bucket list. I don't have one yet, and I'm going to build an ISO box. In this room, without getting behind the camera and start panning around here, in this room I've got a full fridge Ampeg bass cabinet. You know, it's crazy, 700 watts. You know, this room is like 12 feet by 14 feet big, so it's not very big, and it's in my basement. And then I've got a double Marshall stack sitting over here. The Ampeg is right beside it. And then I've got my drum set sitting back in the corner over here, which is, you know, it's a Roland electronic drum set, because putting an acoustic kit down here, I wish. But I just, you know, I need to keep that volume down. But I play all the drums for it here as well, and then trigger that through my DAW and get that big nice sound. And I'll put a link to that video. Pretty tough video to pull off, but I did it, and I'm quite proud of it. Then I got, you know, all my guitars up here, and then I've got another half stack behind me here with an HK head using Kettner head. Love that rig. You know, the cabinet that I have underneath that flag there is like a Behringer cabinet. It's like a $200-300 cab, and it's super cheap, but I love the tone I get out of that. And behind me, I've just got I've got a full keyboard behind me that I picked up reasonably cheap. You know, I had so many different guitar heads, I actually just swapped that out. That's kind of getting a little away from the point of the video here today. Why I'm super stoked. Let's get back to that. Let's move some of this stuff off of here because of this box right here. Now, my channel is going to be video tutorials on how to record the best audio that any one of us can do with a simple setup. You don't need all this gear. All you need is a computer. You need a digital interface. You know, you can get the little boxes. You know, you can get them for like $100 or just a one line in type thing, and we'll go through all that, and I'll break all that down. More importantly, how to record professional audio for video, how to marry those two together. You know, I'm learning the video aspect, but you know what, I'm pretty proud of that video I shot. So I know some stuff, but there's a whole bunch I need to learn yet. And really, it's just about teaching you guys how to put all this stuff together. Now, the video that I shot that's online it's a cover song. And not a whole bunch of people, you know what it's like if you put up a cover song on YouTube, you get flagged right away. Well, there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. So the right way to do it is the way I did it. And it took a lot of research to figure out how to do that. But I actually have the licensing rights to reproduce that particular song that I did. And there's a cool way to go about doing it where you're not ripping anybody off. You're not infringing on anybody's rights, and it's the right way to do it. And I'll go through all that in detail. One of the biggest things that I learned when recording audio was, and you do this when you're in cover bands growing up or going through the, you know, paying your dues, as they say, but everybody starts with a cover song. Everybody starts in a cover band. Not too many people just go out there and write their own music and you know, make a name for themselves. It's pretty tough to do. So, but good thing that comes out of all that is you play other people's music and you emulate them is kind of what you're doing. You shoot videos and YouTube's vlogs and all that stuff. You do that for a reason, because you're trying to emulate somebody else. You know, Casey comes to mind with the vlogger stuff, you know, out of New York there, and I guess he's in LA now, but I forget how to say his last name. It's but you guys know what I'm talking about. And then there's Pete McKinnon out of Toronto, who's just like amazing. You know, blew his channel right up. He's got 1 million subs in like 9 months, right? So my goal is to, how do you get, I want to get as good as these guys. I'll never be as good as those guys, but I aspire to be as good as those guys. I'm good in the audio space, in my own mind. I don't know if that's self-righteous or anything like that, but I will never be the top guy, and I don't profess to be the top guy. It's just the way I do things. And again, that's where I'm going with this channel. And if I can take one person with me on that journey, hopefully that's you, that I can take with you on that journey to make the best product that you are able to do. Now, if I break that down a little bit, so if I'm comfortable in the audio space, I'm only pointing over here because that's where my digital workstation is. So if I'm comfortable in that space and I know that I can teach some value to people that are willing to learn it, right? And so that's my value proposition to people like you. Now, I'm also learning the video side of things over here. So I subscribe to all those people in that space as well, because what can I learn from that? You know, this Sony camera that I showed you was the wrong camera to buy. I didn't buy that with the mindset that this is what I'm going to do. I actually bought that for my son, and you know, now I know it's the wrong camera, but I aspire to get a new camera. I want to get a new camera, but I'm going to show you, you don't need the best things to make something look incredible. And that's kind of where I'm coming from with this. This box is going to help me do that. Now, so I had to buy a couple pieces of software to get into the video space, right? Because I gotta capture some things on the audio space in my Mac over here. So I had to buy an audio capture. I bought ScreenFlow. Now, that's going to allow me to go in depth into my program and into my audio DAW and into Adobe Premiere and things like that, to be able to share these pieces of tutorial things that you guys in YouTube land, out in YouTube, can find some value in that and take the journey with me. Build your channel, make you a better audio engineer, make you a better cinematographer, make you a better picture person, or if that's your thing. If you can take one thing out of what I'm going to teach you, hopefully you're going to take away from that. It is something that's going to amplify what you're doing. You know, matching your audio to your video on that downbeat, right? So if you're matching, you got a scene transition over here. I mean, people talk about this all the time, but you've got this, you know, this rhythmic audio over here, and you put a scene transition in between those beats. That's not going to line up very nice. And that's the emotional connection that audio can have to your video. Again, capturing with these nice condenser mics. These are not expensive. It's just about how you route it, right? And so we're going to get into that, like audio hijack, how we're going to route all that together. I've kind of reverse engineered things in a sense that I've built a website that is going to cater to all this stuff as well. The website is live, but nobody knows about it yet because I'm busy getting things ready and behind the scenes so I can come out with an impact, right? So that's kind of my take on it. And if I can teach you those ways of doing things and you find value in that, then this was all worth it. It's about helping people, right? Now, that's going to help me too. And, you know, I come back the other way, and it's also going to help grow my channel, but it's going to help you grow your channel as well. Now, am I going to do everything right? No, I'm not. But you know what? I'm going to have fun doing it. And it's not about winning the game and who gets there first. It's about the journey and what you learn in the process of chasing what your dream is, right? Now, I have, I just mentioned earlier, I'm 53 years old, and I know I'm rambling on here, but this is important. I've got 53 years of corporate world structure embedded in this brain. Um, I haven't been working for 53 years, but I've been working for 33 of those years, or 35 of those years. And I'm a commercial printer by trade, journeyman printer. I had been through many facets of that growing up and getting to where I am today. However, my first love is everybody works in a job that they hate because they got to pay bills and keep the lights on and put food on your table, kind of the responsible things that person is supposed to do. But we get so intertwined in that circle, that vicious circle of, get up, go to a job, get paid, go buy your groceries, pay your bills, and then rinse and repeat. And where we get lost in that is that it's just one of these. You're just around and around and around and around and around, and you're always making somebody else happy in that cycle of corporate structure, unless you own the business, right? So I'm not suggesting you go out and you quit your job or anything like that, but do not let anybody take your dream from you. Always have that back here, that someday you're going to chip away at that and get to that dream space, right? Someday you're going to lose your job. Someday, the company you work for might go through a structural change, and you you go to work one day and the doors are locked like that. Some of that stuff's out of your control, and so you end up, what do I do? And you got to run around, chase and find a new job, and try to fill that hole. Now, chances are you've worked your way up in the company you were at, and then there's been a change, and then boom, you're back down here on the pay grid, and you got to start all over again. You got to retrain yourself. You got to do all these things, right, to try to figure that out. And so I guess where I'm going with that is, when you have those moments in your life, never view those as a setback. And I did for many years. I always chased that corporate dream, right? When it comes down to it, man, like, you get to be at my age, it's like the importance of that is this big, right? It's about what makes you happy and what burns inside you. What makes, when your feet hit that floor in the morning, what makes you jump? What makes you, what's that burning desire? You ever gone to work, and we're going on 20 minutes here, which is ridiculous, but I'll edit, a lot of this out. But if I don't, I don't. I think there is value to this in some level. You ever go to work and get up and go to work, and you're doing your job because that's just what you've done for so many years, and so whether it becomes numb to you, or you're just going about your day, but we all daydream, right? We have daydream moments throughout our day, and what makes you excited? What puts the butterfly in your gut? When you think about your weekend, your Fridays or your Saturdays, or your kids, or your school play, or whatever it is in your life that gets you excited on a personal level, is you really need to listen to that, because that's really your underlying passion. Now, that could be, let's talk about kids for a quick second. That could be because you're your daughter's soccer coach. Maybe that's what it is. And you grew up through high school and as a child yourself, and you love playing soccer, and that's what you want it to be. But who's a professional soccer player, right? In your geographical area. How do you make money doing that? So when you go and you start teaching your daughter's soccer team, you get some value out of that. That's something that makes you extremely happy, right? That's your burning desire. And of course, things morph over the years as you go too. For myself, my desire has always been music, right? I don't care what kind of shitty day you've had. Music is very therapeutic for the soul and for the mind. And everybody listens to music at some level, whatever genre it happens to be. And when I'm having a bad day, man, I come down in here, which is kind of why I built this studio, right? But I come down in here and I sync myself into my computer and all my instruments, right? And I create. So whether it's a cover song or I'm doing something for a buddy or some band or something like that, but I create. And my music, nobody can take my music away from me. Nobody. And that's the joy I get out of it. So, I have gone through that where you've lost your job and I'm getting canned from a job. That is like a kick in kick in the nuts is what it is, right? And it really takes you down a few steps. And my point to this is that when that happens, you're going to mourn a little bit over that, and because it hurts you personally, right? You're a proud person, and it kind of damages you a little bit. But think about this: let it spark something else inside of you that you've been afraid to do. Okay, if it's music, if it's woodworking, if it's fishing, scuba diving, and whatever it is, you want to make clothes for a living, be a fashion professional or whatever it is, a hairdresser, it doesn't matter what is burning inside you. Always gravitate back to that when you have those little downfalls in life. And so now I'm at the point where getting to this box still, but now I'm at the point in my life where I'm going to take a leap of faith. And that leap of faith is going to be doing this for guys and girls like you. And I see a huge value in that. And I see that as a very successful thing to do. Doing what I love, I'm very passionate about it. That passion, that burn, I know I can do this. And I'm not going to look back. I'm just going to jump in with both feet and get it done. And I'm going to do this venture. Hopefully I'm doing this venture with my 14-year-old son, who's going to start his own channel. He has his own channel, actually, and he's more of in the gaming aspect of it. So the AdLace Studios, which is what this whole thing is the name of the studio is very personal to me, and I'll share that at a future date. But what that encompasses is everything to do with a creative studio. For me, it's audio, and it's going to be video, right? For my boy, it's going to be gaming. He's a huge gamer, and there's a huge platform for that too. I used to play, PS1 and the ColecoVisions and all that shit when it was out and it was popular in television. I'm really dating myself, but the game, I watch him play these games that he's doing today. It blows my mind, like how fast, kids can be that way. And I like to think that I'm in tune with it, but I mean, come on, let's face it, kids are just bing, bang, boom, right? So I encourage him to, and I don't know how many fathers will do this, but I encourage him to jump on this bandwagon with me and create something for himself so he can then put himself, strive to be better and better and better and better. Yeah, have a YouTube channel. Is that the best job in the world? I don't know. But here's what I do know. I am not going to get left behind when it comes to technology. I sell software for a living in a corporate setting. And so you got to be on your technology, right? In the IT space. So I don't consider myself a dum-dum. With all the pieces of software that I need to make work. But I don't consider myself the brightest candle on the tree either, right? So I know there's lots to learn, and that's what keeps me motivated to keep going all the time. But however, I need to come back into this space to do it for me, right? And for my family and for my boy and my daughter and my wife, all those things, right? So I got to start building for Sean, never mind building and putting money in somebody else's pocket every day. Let's start. So I can start. I'm going to start it small. I say that, but I know I'm going to jump in with both feet and just go after it. And I don't suggest everybody go and do that. But however, I think if even one person comes and does that with me, we're going to be successful and we're going to do it together. It's going to be a community. So my website is pretty entailed, and So it's got forum boards, it's got VIP sections, it's got subscription stuff. It's all my videos that I post to YouTube will be on my website as well, and vice versa. And so I've thought this out. And so when I say reverse engineer it, I've done that. I've done that legwork, and I've put the hours in to build that site to make this a very professional career path, you know, in the YouTube space, and Twitter and Instagram and Smackface and whatever the other ones are that I'll learn, TikTok and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to the journey. Let's get to the box, because now we're going on 28 minutes. And the box is what's going to make my video life come around, right? So I need this, because these in this box, well, let's just open it. I mean, it's not a real big deal to most people that are kind of doing this probably already, but to me it's pretty big. I get excited over getting a new guitar, you know, or a new pedal or something like that, but this has got me equally excited, because this is something new that I love to learn. Even at my age, I love to learn. So what do we got in here? Get my chair out of the way. I just thought it was important to open this on camera, because today is the first day I'm going to launch my channel, and it's time. So what's in here? I'll open one box here. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, and you will figure out what it is. Look at that, right there. That's a light. So that's right. These are, I forget the brand name of these, softbox lights. So I can light my studio properly to do proper video that looks banger. It's going to look killer, right? And I'm going to spend some serious time on that. So when I come down into my studio, because I want to do weekly, like I want to post daily if I can. That's my plan. And, you know, I've got 6 different categories that I'm going to be diving into when it comes to the audio and the cinematography and all that stuff. And you know, to do a video a day, that's a big order, right? But to do it professionally, anybody can knock out a video like this, because I mean, it's not edited, it's not properly lit. There's nothing fancy about this other than my story. Now, so it's going to be all professionally lit. So when I come down into my space here, I can instantly jump on and get my workflow going, because I know my workflow in my DAW and how I'm, you know, use Audio Hijack and stuff to do this, so I can talk to you guys. And I plan on having, I'm going to say bi-weekly, because at first I thought it was going to be weekly Q&A sessions, live video feed. My website's already set up for all that. So I can do this live, and I've never done one of those before. So I think that's going to be pretty killer too, right? So we can actually have Q&A and go back and forth on things and learn from each other, and let's build channels together. Let's do this. I want to teach you what I know so you can further your process in getting your channel up and running. Now, again, I got 30. That's 3, but I got 30 10x right there, right? Subscribers right now. My goal in 6 months is to have 100,000 subscriptions, or what do they call it in the space? Subs. I want 100,000 subs in 6 months. So that is my goal. It's going to be aggressive, but I know we can do it. So instead of unboxing all this stuff, because I have the stands and everything that are in here, I'm going to cut out of this right now and put this stuff together, and then I will edit this at some point and get it up. I might come back to it just once I'm lit here. But I just real quick, I know I'm going to put a link to the video that I did in this room, but I want you to just kind of look at the ambiance in here just from the screenshot here, which is nothing to scream at, right? But how I transformed this room into a professional grade music video, because I think music videos they're not dead by any stretch of the matter. VH1 and Much Music and all that stuff, you know, those channels are gone. but it's about being able to have the tools in the room, in your basement, in your bedroom, or wherever that is, to put something like that together. And I still think to this day there's value in that. Everybody loves music, and everybody loves a good movie or a good video. And if you can learn something from that, that's gold. So see you later for now. So we'll come back to this at I don't know, tomorrow or later tonight, I'm not sure, but we'll come back and I'll edit this out or make this, glue it together, and you'll see how this transformation will start to unroll. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.